You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
I never thought this day will come. Well, I'm gonna regret what I did. I really regret voting for this guy.
We voted for you. Why are you doing this to us?
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it because now, since Elon Musk took over, I lost my job. It's last night in the hotel.
I got fired from my job.
But I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I would so deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I had my last review on the 31st of January, and I had the highest rating that you can get on a review, less than 21 days before I was terminated for my performance.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, Piggott says she's received death threats and her home has been egged. This woman asked us not to show her face for fear of retribution. She recently retired from the Bureau of Fiscal Service because she was afraid of losing her health insurance if she was fired. She also voted for Trump.
Would you still have supported him?
I'm not sure that I would have. The way that it's been done, I'm for balancing the budget, that type of thing, but not in this context. It's just not right.
I never thought this day will come. Well, I'm gonna regret what I did. I really regret voting for this guy. I'm working on this program for the Sound Power phones batteries. We're researching these batteries for these Sound Power phones, and they cut off our funding. It is really sad. You get to the office and they tell you, we're no longer going to fund your research for these batteries for these Sound Power phones. And you know what makes me sad is that these batteries were going to make such an impact on the lives of our deployed troops, especially the sailors out there. These are for vital communications on board ships. So I truly regret now my vote. And I hope more people speak up just like I did.
So I just wanted to come on here and say publicly, I'm officially announcing my departure from the Republican Party. We were given 24 hours that we are no longer going to be leading this initiative. And I can say I honestly never thought that I would so deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump. For the last 4 years, I've been the lead supervisor for Project Pickle, finally discovering how many pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. And I just want to say that I'm so sorry to my family. I was so wrong, and I never thought it would come to this. And the worst part is what if we never find out how many pickled peppers Peter Piper.
MAGA regret is a trend. And just like buyer's remorse, I anticipated that this would happen. There was no way that people willingly made this decision and they were actually fully educated in their decision. They considered all options. They considered all possibilities. They considered the impact that this could potentially have, or they even glanced at 2025, Project 2025. They didn't. And so some of this was about, and so I get it. Do I feel like the government entity as a whole might not always benefit the American people? Yes, I do think that. Do I feel like sometimes politicians trump regular average people like me and you? Yes. Do I think that people attach themselves to the idea and concept of the fact that a billionaire could potentially run America better than politicians? Yes. And I think that what people did was attach themselves to the dream that they could potentially have access to that amount of money, that they could potentially get into this environment where Trump was going to change the status quo of how we live, how we eat, how we breathe, how we operate as a country, and how the government operated specifically. I think that he led with that because that was the emotional appeal that he could attract so many different people. Even after he disrespected so many different nationalities, said so many different offensive things, has been in very compromising situations when it comes to women as well. Y'all still voted for him. And so now I'm starting to see all these videos that are, it's like a trend where it's like MAGA regret. And so there's all these people that are going through the reasons why they are regretting voting for Donald J. Trump and how they didn't understand that whatever decision making he was going to make, that it would impact things that are so closely related to what they need, what they depend on, what they do on a daily basis, maybe even their employment, their livelihood, the employment, livelihood, and dependency of their loved ones, whatever it is. I stand in solidarity with the 92% and say, we told you so. And the thing that I'll continue to say and scream to the mountaintops until I can't say it anymore is the hate of the Black woman is so strong that you will willingly sign up to jeopardize your livelihood, your normalcy, the livelihood and normalcy of so many other people, your ability to live comfortably. You would give all that up versus allowing a Black woman to be in charge. The funny thing about all of this is America knows it more than anything that Black women are the most powerful people on this planet. And the problem with that is if we allow the Black woman in the White House, we empower Black women across the world to stand flat-footed, take charge, and start running things everywhere. We'll start to see a movement. We'll start to see Black women rising up in all types of leadership positions. We'll start to see those timid Black women, they'll find their voice. They'll find their power. They'll find their strength. But they don't want that to happen. That's a movement that they want to prevent as much as possible. But 92%, I know we got something brewing. I know it's coming. Just wait and see, babe.
I voted for Trump and now I regret my vote. Let me explain. Please don't explain. Please, I beg, do not explain. Keep it to yourself. I don't care. I don't care. Don't explain. Because I voted the way I did because I cared about other women, other Black women, other women in general. I cared about other immigrants. I care about low-income people. I cared about all of that because I was voting not only in the way that benefited me, but the way that benefited other people too. You voted based on the way that benefited you. You know what I mean? So we are not the same because you don't have to explain yourself to me because at the end of the day, if you didn't regret your vote, if somehow you were not at a deficit, you wouldn't regret your vote. I can tell you right now, if it came out that Kamala Harris had done anything illegal, anything wrong, as much as this man did, I would regret my vote easily, not because of any of her policies or anything, but simply because I don't want to vote for a horrible, shitty person. But you had no problem doing that, knowing all the facts. You vote the way you voted because you thought it would benefit you, but the moment it's not benefiting you, you regret your vote. I don't care. You keep that shit to yourself, and please do not tell me about it. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. There are other people that will literally go through hell. Immigrants that will get sent home based on their horrible situations. There are women that will die. There are children that will continue to get hurt because of the way you voted. I don't care. Because the way you vote, it's already happened. I don't need an excuse. I don't need a sorry. I don't need to know why you regretted it. You made the decision that you made. Now it's time for you to stick beside them. All I do hope, though, is I hope the worst of the worst happened to you. Because at the end of the day, friend, you hoped the worst of the worst could happen to somebody else. And you voted the way that you voted knowing that it would have. So now it is your turn. And I hope your karma kick your butt. But other than that, I don't give a shit. I don't care anything else. Like, I don't give a shit.